Oh man, doing the next episode.
I can't wait to do Monster Squad.
Yeah. Yeah, man, heading to the studio, shooting another episode of Monster Squad. Dude, Monster Squad, we're doing it this week. Ugh, dude, that movie is a complete rip of Goonies.
Wait, what? It's nothing like Goonies. It's got Dracula, Mummy, Wolfman, there's an amulet.
Huh, you mean One-Eyed Willie Skulky? Come on.
What about when Fat Kid shoots the creature from the Black Lagoon? You know, my name is Horace.
Yeah, that's Chunk, and my name is Francis. Both Fat Kids have weird names.
It's got Frankenstein.
Frankenstein is Sloth. They even stole the Goonies' mom.
She's a great 80s mom.
Like, granted she is, but that movie came out 2 years after Goonies, just enough time to copy and paste that and add Dracula. Just like when a kid asks to copy your homework, and like, just make sure it looks like you didn't copy off of me. I mean, granted, it is a true representation of the 80s. We have a squad of children running around, and the parents have no idea what's happening. What are you doing?
Get out!
Oh. Was it something I said? Man, now I gotta change. Welcome to another episode of And Now Our Feature Presentation.
Where we don't just love movies from the 80s and 90s, we live them.
I'm Josh Sanchez. Carey stepped on my candy bar.
I'm Carey Williams. Rudy made me eat that candy bar.
Five youngsters find themselves up against the combined might of Dracula, the Mummy, Gilman, and Frankenstein's monster who arrive in a town in search for a magic amulet.
I love magic amulets. It's such a good trope.
It's always
from the
about
80s.
the amulets, of course. Our next movie is
Monster Squad.
All right.
Released August 14th, 1987, it had an estimated budget of 12 to 14 million and earned only 1.9 million in its opening weekend, starting in 12th place. It only went on to gross 3.8 million, so it was not successful. And
That is pretty bad.
It's bad. It's real
really
bad.
bad.
And I was surprised it actually cost as much as it did. I mean, I get it looking at the scenes now because there's some pretty extensive stuff going on, but it just didn't compare to the other stuff going on at the time. It went on to be a cult success in the rental market.
And of course, yes, and this movie's great. The film held its premiere party at Hard Rock Cafe in Hollywood, California. Kiefer Sutherland, the star of The Lost Boys, was among those who showed up to support the film. I mean, that's a great Lost
nice
Boys.
guy.
It's a great movie, so yeah. The scene where Dracula lifts Phoebe up and she screams was done in one take. Duncan Rager, who wouldn't wear his red contacts or fangs around the 5-year-old Ashley Banks because it scared her too much. For the scene, director Fred Decker just told Ashley to scream once the platform raised her. When she asked, when? Decker told her, oh, you'll know, and proceeded to shoot. The terrified scream you hear when Dracula opens his eyes is Ashley's genuine scream of fright.
I don't blame her. It scared me.
Yep. According to director Fred Decker, Shane Black's first draft of the screenplay was so huge that the opening of the film featured Van Helsing accompanied by Zeppelins and hundreds of men on horseback storming Dracula's castle.
He had ambitions. I mean,
That's just
the Zeppelin's what gets me.
Oh man, it's just insane. Decker stated that this sequence would have cost more than the final budget of the film.
Why don't you just say some people riding dinosaurs, buddy?
Man. Due to licensing issues, the crew had to create characters that were suggestive, but not exact copies of Universal's iconic monsters. The challenge was to suggest those classic creatures without really copying them, explained Shane Mahan, because we didn't have permission or license to use these specific images. So we could do a Gilman, for example, but it couldn't look too much like Creature from the Black Lagoon. It was frustrating for us at first because, of course, we wanted to use the original designs, but we couldn't. We could only suggest those designs. So Frankenstein monster looks a bit like the Karloff creature, but instead of bolts on the neck, he has bolts on his forehead.
Frankenstein.
It's hilarious. The brief scene where Frankenstein meets Phoebe playing by the water is a clear homage to the similar yet more tragic scene in the original Frankenstein film. The way in which the scene plays out in this film is, according to the previous interviews, more in line with the way Boris Karloff wanted to do the scene in the 1931 original. It's crazy. Decker wished that a company with better affinity for marketing feel-good movies such as Disney's Touchstone Pictures had picked up the film. The Monster Squad PG-13 rating may have prevented it from reaching the audience most likely to identify with its creatures, while older teenagers were more interested in R-rated movies like The Lost Boys, which opened just 2 weeks prior. And that's just crazy.
It's crazy. I never associated these being so close together either.
Yeah. Some thought that the film's slogan made it look like a B movie knockoff, and then the film suffered from the comparisons to The Goonies. Although Decker says he had not seen the movie at that point.
You know how I feel about the Goonies comparisons.
I do. I firsthand experienced that.
And like in some of the other movies we've done, this is one of those scenarios where some of the actors that are in this are terrific actors, did a great job in this movie, but they don't have items to reference that we're going to be basically speaking upon in other episodes. So we're going to go ahead and feature some of the actors, but some of them don't have other things that we're going to be able to reference that they're from just because it's not stuff that we're familiar with.
Correct. So let's talk cast. So Andrew Gower, here is Sean. Lots of TV shows and some movies that we don't know.
Unfortunately, are not familiar with.
And then we got Robbie Keeger-Patrick. He was in Children of the Corn. Stephen Match, who plays Del, Sean's dad. Lots of TV shows and movies we don't know. Duncan Rager, who plays Count Dracula. Lots of movies and TV shows that we don't know. Tom Noonan, who plays Frankenstein. He's in a lot of stuff, and there's a lot of stuff that we do know.
Yes.
So, of course, Easy Money, and then
The Man with One Red Shoe.
FX.
Kane in RoboCop 2, very iconic one for me.
He plays a villain in the RoboCop 2. Last Action Hero.
The most iconic one for me. He plays the crazy hatchet killer, axe killer.
And then Heat, and then he also plays, for me, it's just me, myself, who I recognize him as Reverend Nathaniel Cole on the show Hell on Wheels. It's not an 80s or 90s show, but it's just something that I've watched, and I just loved him in that. I loved him in that. So.
We'll allow it this time.
And then we got Brent Callum, who plays Horace, or Chalum. I'm sorry if we ruined your name, who is in Moving Violations. And then we have Ryan Lambert, who plays Rudy, the iconic Rudy, shown here. Lots of TV shows and some movies that we don't know. And Ashley Blanks, who plays Phoebe. Again, lots of TV shows and some movies that we don't know. And then Michael Faustino, who plays Eugene, right here, pictured, mummy in his closet. Suburban Commando and Blank Check. And then, of course,
this is a long one.
This is the mom, the iconic
80s mom.
It's Mary Ellen Trainor, of course, Romancing the Stone, The Goonies,
Lethal Weapon, Die Hard,
Scrooged,
Ghostbusters 2, Lethal Weapon 2,
Back to the Future Part 2, Cuffs,
Lethal Weapon 3, Death Becomes Her,
Greedy, Forrest Gump,
Little Giants, Congo, Executive Decisions, and Lethal Weapon 4.
Ugh, so many great movies. Leonardo da Cimino, the scary German guy. He was in Dune. He's pictured right there.
And I want to point out, that is what he is only credited as. He does not have a name.
Not have a name.
He's scary German guy, and then later to be not so scary German guy.
That's his name. That's what it says in the credits, scary German guy. He was in Dune, The Freshman, Hudson Hawk, Waterworld, and then John Grice, who plays the desperate man. Wolfman as a Human. He was in Joysticks, Real Genius, Get Shorty, Men in Black.
And I'm going to throw it out there, even though it's not era relevant.
Yep.
This is Uncle Rico, from Napoleon Dynamite.
It's Uncle Rico.
That is Uncle Rico has nards.
And then Stan Shaw, who plays Detective Sapir, Harlem Nights, Fried Green Tomatoes, House Guest, Cutthroat Island, Daylight, Lisa Fuller, who's Patrick's sister, Baby Boom, Earth Girls Are Easy. And then we have, funny picture, Jason Hervey, who plays EJ, Meatballs Part 2, Frankenweenie, Police Academy 2, Back to the Future, Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Back to School, and of course...
He's always been bullying because he's Kevin's bully in The Wonder Years.
In The Wonder Years. Adam Carl, who plays Decker, who was in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. He plays
the voice of Donatello.
It's amazing. Carl Thibault, who plays Wolfman, Munchies. And then Tom Woodruff, who plays the Gill Man.
He is a monster man.
He is literally a monster man. He's in Aliens, Pumpkinhead, Leviathan, Tremors, Alien 3 as the lead alien, Mortal Kombat as Goro, Jumanji, and the X-Files. And it's always as, I guess, some kind of weird character. Like
he likes costumes. He likes creatures.
I mean, that's an awesome costume.
It is a great costume.
It's a great costume.
For what people kind of almost consider a lower budget movie, even though it wasn't.
Yeah.
The costumes are great. The effects are great.
It's a great movie. All right, let's talk about the press kit.
This is one of those scenarios where the press kit is quite obscure to come across. We have a partial one that we have amassed over a few weeks of effort. We spent months trying to find the official one. So this is another one of those scenarios where we've recreated the folder because there just wasn't one out there to acquire. This is what the original folder would have looked like. We do have lots of great stills from it, though. We have Frankie with Phoebe here.
Oh, such a good picture.
We have the kids posing outside the clubhouse before Dracula decides he's throwing dynamite in it and blowing up a hole.
Just wild.
That's such a great part.
Wild.
We have Horace proving that he is not just Fat Kid, he is Horace, and he is going to take out the Gill Man.
It's amazing. Love it.
We have Dracula getting ready to intimidate Phoebe. We have the director actually posing with Phoebe here in this still. We have...
it's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. It's nice to see him out there helping out. Yep. We have... I've been referring to them... It says Vampire Brides. I called them Succubi.
Succubi, yeah. The Vampire Brides.
We have some of the kids and the pup with Frankenstein Tom Noonan here. We have the monsters retrieving Frank from the swamp. We have the monsters, doing their group photo together. The little family portrait right here. And then this is last but not least, we have.
I like how Frankenstein's in the middle.
We have the whole squad along with the Nemesis monsters.
Yep, it's fantastic. It's fantastic. It's so great, so great. Such a great iconic movie. Even though it didn't do well in the box office, it's, again, like you said, it definitely has a cult following.
It's a huge cult hit.
Yes,
Everybody I know that's like into 80s movies and 90s movies, they love the Monster Squad.
Yes.
It's rare to come across somebody that's like, oh, I don't like the Monster Squad.
I remember watching this as a kid, and I just loved it.
Oh, yeah.
I loved every second
Watching
of
it at a sleepover.
Oh, yes.
I remember... Back in the 80s, it was the kind of thing, like, since you didn't have like direct access to stuff, you would go to the rental store and re-rent the same movie.
Yes. Yep.
My parents would get frustrated at that because they'd be like, "Oh my God, he's renting that same movie again." And I definitely probably rented the Monster Squad a half a dozen times or so.
Yes.
Not right in a row necessarily,
Yeah.
but over the course of years, we're like, "Oh, let's watch Monster Squad again." Parents think, face palm.
Do a different one.
Do a different one.
Some of the crazy things about the movie, the intro text, they blew it.
Explaining how Van Helsing was trying to, send him to limbo, and that's how they end the intro text. They blew it.
They blew it, and then of course when Rudy makes the Fat Kid Horace bully eat the candy bar.
I didn't want to eat that candy bar either. It's pretty great, and it's one of those things where it's like Rudy establishes himself as the cool guy.
As the cool guy, who 100% as a kid, I just remember that scene when he's there on the bike and he like does the shades.
Got his leather jacket.
I was like, oh my gosh, he is
skids up on his bike real fast.
So cool.
But then it's like even more impressive to you as a kid because he's there for justice.
Yep.
He's not just like the cool kid that's like, I'm a bully too.
Yep.
He's the cool kid that's like, I'm going to bully the bullies.
Exactly.
So he's out there defending the little guy, and he's like, yeah, you're going to eat that candy bar. Not Fat Kid, not Horace. He's going to make EJ eat that candy bar.
Eat the candy bar. Oh, and then when they're leaving the principal's office.
The meow teacher.
Oh my God.
Someone kisses her at night.
When the priest said, "Till death you part,"
someone said, "I do."
Oh, it's so It's so
We
funny.
all had
it's
teachers
so
we-
terrible at
It
the
is,
same
it
time.
is.
So terrible.
We all had teachers like that, though, where
Ugh.
we didn't like the teachers, so we said not so
It's
nice
not so
things
nice
about
things.
them.
Of course, the scary German guy. Just it's so fun to see.
I love when they give generic names to characters
yeah.
like that, too. It's just
Scary
it's pretty
German
fun.
guy. And that's
yeah.
what they say throughout the whole movie. Scary German guy.
Let's go to Scary German guy. Don't go over there. That's Scary German guy's
Scary
house.
German guy. And then hanging in the clubhouse discussing ways to kill monsters. It's just so funny.
And when they're explaining it to Rudy, like they're quizzing him and trying to stump him, and they ask him like, "What's another way to kill the Wolfman?" And my face, because he's like, "It's just silver bullets,
silver
right?"
bullets, yeah.
And they're like, "Well," then they have to give him other excuses. I'm pretty sure one of them says old age. They just make up these random terrible reasons because like they don't want to be stumped on it either. They're trying to stump him, but like he was correct.
Yep. And then Rudy, when he says, when they all put their hands in, it's like, how does that dog get up here?
Oh my God,
anyways?
the dog has his paw. I love that it's like, he knows what's up. I'm part of the club.
Part of the club. Oh man! And then of course, Mom gives the Van Helsing book to Sean.
I like how she just has Van.
it's like-
I mean, yeah, I got this. You know, they had a little sale outside of that house. So like, I bought this artifact.
got this book for you.
It's like the nickel. She didn't say how much it was, but it's just like, here, I'm just going to give you this super old, rare book that I found that just happens to, you know, save the day.
Oh my gosh. And then the guy who's desperate at the police.
And that is his credit. He is the desperate man because they don't say that. Yeah, there's two different people portraying that character.
So
you have
funny.
human form of Wolfman, and you have the person playing Wolfman.
Oh my gosh. And he's begging to be locked up when the mummy escapes a museum and ends up in Eugene's closet. That is so, like, just out there.
The dad comes in annoyed that the kid's scared at night. All right, let's see about these monsters. Whips the closet open without looking in the closet.
Yes.
Goes, oh, there's some scary monsters in there. You monsters, get on out of here. And Eugene's standing there like this. He's like, see, they're all gone. And this is definitely, Eugene is both of my favorite scenes in this movie, and we'll reference the other one soon.
So great. But it's just like, all right, what was the mummy doing in his closet?
I know, right? Like, why did he escape the thing to hide in Eugene? Because they have to go with the trope of, you know, oh, there's a monster in the closet, maybe under the bed kind of thing. And it's like, yep, we're going to do a mummy in the closet that little boy's afraid of.
It's so hilarious. And of course, Sean watching the drive-in on the roof of the house with
When
Dad.
I was a kid, that was the
so
coolest
cool.
thing ever. I was like,
so
oh my
cool.
God, could you imagine?
just
You
like,
live so close to the
you
drive-in.
can, like, tune into
you
the
don't even have
radio
to
and
pay.
you buy some binoculars and you're right there. Oh, it's so great.
It's a cool bonding experience with the dad too.
Yep,
like
yep.
I would only hope that if I lived near it, I would be like, come on kids, let's dangerously sit on the roof and watch a movie at the drive-in for free. But it's cool. It was a
man.
cool 80s thing.
Yep. Of course, the monsters retrieve Frankenstein from the swamp.
They do, and then they. I remember the gill man just like chucking it out of the water, like he's got it like over his thing.
his head.
And like, woof. Of course, he can hold a Frankenstein up in the air, Frankenstein's monster.
It's so funny.
And then they hook up. Drac just happens to have this, you know, walking stick that's like a thing that, rejuvenates Frank by like electrocuting him back to life.
Yes, it's so funny.
And everything Drac has is skull oriented.
Oh, I know.
He's got his skull staff, and he's got his black car with his skull hood ornament.
Yep. They referenced that at the police station. There was a hearse riding around with a
skull on the front.
It's like, okay, why is that important?
As an adult, you're like, not so intimidating. As a kid, you're like, oh my goodness, a skull.
So funny. And the little sister Phoebe when she meets Frankenstein. Oh my God.
And it's cute. It's a sweet thing, you know. And what's wild is Phoebe's the bravest Monster Squad member.
Yep.
And that's the best part. And we'll go ahead and we'll get the censor button ready. But when she comes along with Frankenstein and all the kids run and hide, she's like, come on, guys, don't be chicken shits. Having a little girl say that at the time when you're a kid, you're like, oh my God, little kid said a potty word.
So funny. Of course, scary German guy being nice and gives him pie and helps him with the book.
He comes out with a knife. He says, it's your last chance for pie.
It's for pie. Frankenstein nice. Of course, we just went over that. And then Rock Until You Drop montage.
Montage.
Oh my
that
gosh.
stuck with me. I feel like I even rewound and watched that part to hear the song again.
When I rewatched this as an adult, like, I must have watched it 3 or 4 times since we started filming. But rewatching that montage and realizing they had less than a day, it was the next day that they had to go fight.
Yeah.
They
That's
had
a lot.
less
They got a
than
lot
a
of
day.
prep to do.
They got
There's a lot of prep
done. They
work.
had a lot
A
done.
lot of it's Rudy.
Because they go to Scary German Guy and he's reading the thing and it's like, oh, this thing happens every 100 years. He's like, oh my gosh,
That's tomorrow.
That's tomorrow. So it's like, okay, they're at his house after school. So that means the next day they have a day to do all this prep work. It's ridiculous, and I love it.
I love how a lot of the real prep work falls on Rudy, though, because he's
Yes.
the one making silver bullets.
Silver bullets.
He's getting the bow and arrow.
He opens up the silverware. It's with it.
Yeah, he steals all Sean's mom's silverware to make silver.
But
For some reason, he uses a whole container to make like a couple, like one bullet. Like, here's all these forks.
I think he pocketed
Yeah,
that.
right.
This is silver. Make this into something
One
else.
for you, one for me.
Exactly. Oh man, and then Rudy steals the bow and arrow.
He does one of these too,
just
doesn't
like-
he, or something like He just reaches down and steals like some little girl for the archery
class.
team or
Oh
something
my
like that.
gosh,
Bow
yes,
and arrow.
yes. One of the coolest things that I have ever seen in a movie as a kid was, of course, when they're upstairs fighting with the dad's upstairs fighting with Dracula, and he goes to throw the dynamite at him, and he gets knocked down by Wolfman, the werewolf, and he takes the dynamite and gives what is it? Does he shove it down his pants? Is that what it was?
I do believe he sticks it in and then
And he
pushes
shoves
him
him out
out
the window. I thought that was one of the coolest special effects I've
It was
ever
pretty
seen.
good at the time, and then
so just the timing of him getting pushed out the window and then boom, and I was like, that was awesome. And then
I do believe the son distracts him at that part. He goes, "Hey, asshole!"
oh yes,
And he turns and he goes, "You looked."
Yep. That's what it was. Yep. And then he gets blown up, and of course, we get
all his parts
we
kind
get
of like fly back
confirmation that,
together. There's
the
only one way to kill Wolfman.
Wolfman. Yep. And then of course you.
When the kids, this is my other favorite part, is that, and it's got a 2-piece to it. Eugene writes his letter. That's his prep.
Oh yeah. Yep.
He sits there in crayon and he's like, "Dear army men, send help. There are monsters."
Oh my gosh! Just as a kid, fabulous.
Yes. As an adult, I wish I could write a letter like that and get the help that I need.
Get the entire army to show up. Where's Eugene?
Yeah, they show up at the end. Yeah, and he
my
pulls
gosh.
the letter out of his pocket.
my
Which one of
gosh.
you is Eugene?
Yes, it's so funny. Of course, the kids infiltrating Dracula's house to get the amulet.
Those are cool effects on the amulet, too. You have the light effects in there.
Yep. And then when he gets kicked in between the legs.
That was probably the part that every little kid thought was the best part.
Oh, yeah.
At the time.
Oh, yeah,
You're like, he kicks him right in the groin, and then he goes, "Wolfman's got nards."
The mummy car chase scene, of course, and he unravels slowly.
And I do believe that's the only time that Rudy actually uses an arrow with that bow.
Yeah.
Because when he's fighting the vampire brides,
yes,
he's shooting stakes.
He's shooting stakes
with a bow.
Yes, which is fantastic. Dracula goes after the family and blows up the club. But before that, it's like, okay, he takes that dynamite and the other police officer is in the car.
Yes, he blows up the
And
partner.
he blows up the partner. That blew my mind.
He's going
As an adult,
wild.
I was like, he just annihilated that dude.
I like how they have a Dracula character, and instead of like attacking him with any sort of vampire power,
Yes.
it's like, you know what? I'm just dynamite.
gonna
Dynamite here,
this guy.
some dynamite
Dynamite
there.
in the clubhouse.
See you later, clubhouse. Meeting's adjourned. I'm gonna just go blow up some random neighborhood children that are bugging me.
Ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. And it's so funny. Of course, the final fight with the monsters is always amazing.
Oh, yeah.
It's always amazing.
They bump them off pretty easy.
The line, where you going, Rudy? I'm in the goddamn club, aren't I?
And he acts, when you were a kid, you're like, wow, that's the toughest kid I've ever seen in my life.
Yes. That line, even as an adult, I was like,
get it.
Heck yeah.
Get it.
Heck girl.
Get it, Rudy.
Get it. So good. And then Rudy, of course, shoots stakes at the brides.
And what's so funny is after he hits the first one, it's like he lets the second one like. That was the only thing that threw me off more as an adult. It's like, dude, just hurry up and do it. She's like slowly. She's movie monster slowly walking up to you.
Enough time to take him out. It's so funny.
But he just sticks the next one instead of shooting it.
And then of course Horace when he shoots the creature from the back of the balloon.
Oh yeah.
My gosh, it's
nice,
like my name's
nice
Horace.
job, fat kid.
My name is Horace, and I just love the shotgun pump. I just that scene too. I was like, yes, I love it.
Every '80s trope. You gotta have a shotgun pump after you do your tough guy line.
Yep, and then of course, you're not a virgin, are you?
Well, Steve, but he doesn't count.
Doesn't count.
Doesn't count.
That reaction of that kid saying
he's so annoyed.
It is. It's amazing.
Like even him as a young man realizes that that's a stupid thing to have said.
Yep, and of course Frankenstein rescues Phoebe from Dracula was just amazing.
He goes, bogus. As he's like, you don't mess with Phoebe. Phoebe's my friend. I don't care.
And then the portal to Limbo takes everyone, including Frankenstein. And what always gets me every time, I always forget about this scene because there's so many things happening. The portal's open. You see Frankenstein getting sucked away, but then you see the dog. It's so quick, and it's just every time I see it, I'm like, oh my gosh, because he's holding him by the tail so he doesn't get sucked in.
He's part of the squad.
He's part of the squad.
He puts the paw in.
But the dog is doing like the doggy paddle thing. Like, it's so great. It's so great. Oh man. And of course the army shows up. Who's Eugene?
Oh my gosh.
Who's Eugene?
And then they say, don't worry, we already took care of it. Well, who are you guys? We're the Monster Squad.
Oh, so
and then you kick
great.
into the next song.
Right into the song, yeah, and it's so funny. For the longest time, for some reason, I don't know why, but I always thought there was a Monster Squad.
It's Josh's remix.
I think it was just something me as with all my friends. We just we loved this movie, so we would just Monster Squad.
You got me singing it after our drive to the show today.
Yeah, exactly.
We learned a lesson, didn't we?
I'm sorry. I had to change my clothes because of it.
It won't happen again.
It won't happen again. Oh man! So what does this movie mean to you, Carey?
It's just it's your fun childhood. You know what I mean? It's that thing, like I said, it's sleeping over your buddy's house and let's watch the Monster Squad. I remember being at my cousin's house watching it and like I said, picking it out at the video store for the umpteenth time and it's just it's silly fun. You know what I mean? It's not to be taken seriously.
Yep.
It's cheesy. It's great. It's got fun music. It's kids running rampage in the 80s, like always. You know what I mean?
Classic 80s.
I don't know what those kids are out there doing, but hopefully they're not fighting monsters.
They were in this movie.
They sure were. Good thing they weren't in the clubhouse when old Drac decides it's going to blow it up.
Just such carnage. Such carnage.
And they had a pretty impressive clubhouse.
That was the other thing.
Awesome. I remember being envious of kids in these movies. Man, my clubhouse sucks compared to yours.
Yep. Of course, your favorite character is?
It's got to be Rudy. When I was a kid, I was like, well, when I grow up, I hope to be as cool as the guy with the leather jacket and the sunglasses that scoots up on his bike.
As a kid, I loved Rudy. Loved Rudy. And that was the character that I wanted to be. I wanted to be Rudy. But as an adult, looking back and seeing the other characters, I have to say that Phoebe is my favorite character.
She's the toughest one.
She has such great lines. And it's like... It also, because not that we had a club or anything. Me and my brothers, I shared a room with my brother Isaiah's, and it was one of those things we would always be hanging out in our room and just doing whatever. And my sister would try to come in, and she's younger than us, and it was
get out of here.
And it wasn't even we were trying to tell her to get out of here, but she would come in. Can I be in this club? And it's this isn't a club. But then we made up some stupid hand signals all right, you have to do this. And I think it was we did the Spock thing,
the Spock
thing, and she was like, oh, I can't do it. And so it just reminded me of that
because she wanted to be in the club so bad.
Be in the club so bad, and I just remember doing that thing, and she couldn't do it, and then she finally learned how to do it, and it had nothing to do with us not wanting to hang out with my sister. It had nothing to do with that. It's just because of the way she approached it. I want to hang out in the boys'
You got to make them earn it.
Yeah,
you got to make them earn it. You don't just get in. You got to pass all the tests.
But I remember this part with my sister. she finally was able to do this.
She's like, yes!
And we said, oh, you can do that, but you have to do it with both hands. And she was like, no!
She's been practicing. You broke her little heart.
So this movie reminded me of that. It just brought so many memories back of that, of just like being kind of mean to my sister. And it was like, we were never like official.
That's how it
we were never
was.
really bad to my sister. I hope not. I hope we weren't bad to you. But it's just, I've seen this and how they were like, she was trying to, the mom says I can be up here, and they close the door on her. And it's just like, ugh, it's so great. I love her character and how she's such a young actress or whatever, but she just portrays it so well. So that was my favorite character as far as that goes.
And we both share the same favorite actor.
Yep.
He's in a lot of stuff that we enjoy, like I said, including RoboCop 2 as the villain, and the villain in Last Action Hero.
Yep.
Tom Noonan. He does such a good job as Frankie. Frankie's so likable. You want him to be part of the Monster Squad. You don't want him to go away.
Yep.
He's kind to Phoebe. Yep. The bogus, the silly things that the kids teach him, like the bogus. He's snapping pictures.
It's great. Oh, so fun. All right, let's do the soundtrack.
The soundtrack's only got a couple songs on it, but like I said, they're very iconic. You have the Rock Until You Drop, and like I said, I rewound that part of the movie multiple times because you gotta dance until your feet fall off, Josh. You know, it's performed by Michael Cimbello. It's so iconic.
Yeah.
I think anybody that thinks of Monster Squad probably thinks of that even before the theme song that's named after the movie. That's the one that I do, at least. And then, of course, you have the thematic song, The Monster Squad, that plays during the credits, performed by the Monster Squad.
Yep. It's great. All right, let's talk about some of the props.
Let's see. Oh, and like everything that's got amulets or medallions or talismans in the 80s, we have to get it. How else are we going to open the portal to Limbo?
Exactly.
How else are we going to save the day?
Yep.
How else am I going to fight with my friend on the way to the show because my medallion's better than his at the time? Which also you may have seen is, we have the skull key, which is kind of weird that we have a prop from a different movie, but just since it's in the episode, we got to showcase it. And it's also a great looking one. And apparently we have. Looks like the top half of Frankenstein's head.
I think we may have made a mistake here.
Flower, like a tool and a broken tool, maybe?
I don't know.
Some sort of. This is the brick you sold me the other day.
Hey, you want to buy it again?
No, you never made the certificate of authenticity for it.
I'm working on it.
What do you think's going on with this other stuff?
I don't know.
I wonder if maybe a word from our sponsor would help. What the is that?
It's just my Frankie, dear. The kids just love him.
It's my Frankie.
My Frankie, the lovable reanimated corpse. My Frankie, he can help you with everything outdoors. My Frankie, is he friendly to everyone? Of course.
My Frankie is great for those outdoor chores. Don't kill your back, let Frankie do the work. Like bricklaying for a raised flower bed.
Bogus.
Frankie's great for gardening.
Bogus.
Frankie is friendly to everyone, even animals, so your household pets are okay.
Bogus.
Frankie is great at parties.
Fire bad.
Frankie is a great addition to any family.
Stop trying to kill my Frankie. He's already dead.
My Frankie, the lovable reanimated corpse. My Frankie, my Frankie.
So get My Frankie today.
Man, I want one of those.
Sounds great.
Who doesn't want a reanimated corpse that does all your chores for you? I wonder if he's good at dishes and laundry and stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'd take him carrying piles of bricks and stuff like that, but Dad wasn't all about it, was he?
Nope, not at all.
I bet my dad would let him do our chores.
Oh man, we had such great fun making these episodes, especially this one and all the other ones, of course. We love recreating all these 80s and 90s movies experience. We want to thank you for watching, and now our feature presentation. Of course, I'm Josh Sanchez, and this is
Carey Williams.
and we'll see you next time.
Monster Squad.